Hello everyone, Alasdair Gold here in Bilbao, where you can just see over there the players are going through their training. We haven't got long left to watch them of open training. Nothing particularly spectacular happening down there other than the fact that we know, unfortunately, Bergvall is not involved. We already knew that because Ange Postecoglou told us in his press conference just beforehand that the young Swede is not going to be available for tomorrow night's game. Obviously, very disappointing for him because I'm sure he was trying to be back for it, but it's just come that little bit too soon for him. Quite an interesting press conference. We had one from Ange Postecoglou and we also had a joint one with Pedro Porro and Sonny. Sonny and Porro up first. They spoke a little bit about a barbecue that happened ahead of their kind of trip to Bilbao. A bit of a team bonding thing. The South Americans put it on. I think it was Romero, Bentancur and Richarlison organised this barbecue at Hotspur Way. And all the players kind of just bonded, just had a little kind of day to relax and chat. I asked them both about it, Porro and Sonny, and Sonny just said it's just a hugely important thing for them all just to kind of decompress and take away, I think, maybe the pressure from a big game like this and just enjoy being kind of friends, I guess, and rather than kind of the hugeness of this game, I suppose. Pedro said pretty much the same kind of thing. And Ange said he unfortunately had to miss a fair chunk of it because he was doing some media duties, and he said, an Aussie loves a barbecue, so how devastated he was at that. Other things that came up, particularly about Postecoglou's future, he's just not concerned about it. On one hand, he was saying, look, I'm used to in the past managing in big games. If that game then goes on to be my last game, he said, I'm used to that. He said, I did that at Celtic, we won the treble, and I left. He got Australia to the World Cup and then left. And he said he did the same at Brisbane where he won with them and then left. So he said it's not unusual. But then on the other hand, he was asked in the very next question, if you were to win the Europa League, would you actually walk away? And he said, no, I've got no intention of that. He said that he believes there's so much more to be done and that if they were to win the Europa League, that trophy and the Champions League football for next season would actually accelerate the growth hugely of what he's doing here at Tottenham. So, very interesting that, because there was maybe a line of thought that perhaps he would head off into the sunset, essentially. I've done my job. Goodbye, I'll leave this mess to you to sort out, kind of thing. Although obviously we know it wouldn't be a mess if they'd won a trophy or in the Champions League. But that seems to be not an avenue that's going to be happening or going down for anyone. So if he were to leave Tottenham Hotspur in the coming weeks or months, then it would seem to be that Tottenham would have to do that job. They would have to make that decision, and obviously we'll see what happens. If he can win the Europa League, who knows the kind of emotion that comes behind that, and Spurs winning, if they could, what would be their first European trophy in 41 years, their first trophy of any sort in 17 years. It would catapult Postecoglou from being seen as one of the least successful managers of all time, certainly most in points in a Premier League season, to being one of their successful, because only two other managers have won a European trophy at Tottenham. So a huge thing really. We shall see. We shall see what happens next. First off, though, as he said, it's all about that final. Pat Matasar's fine, but no Bergvall. So we'll see what happens tomorrow night even, here in Bilbao.